host, Heather Ashley, and welcome to another episode of Women of Her Story, a podcast dedicated to celebrating women who have made or are making their mark on our society. Sitting next to me is your favorite weatherman from Channel 4 Morning News, Lightning Turnbuckle. How's the weather looking today, Lightning?
It's looking pretty cloudy out here, Heather. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty well, and today for you guys, we have a short and sweet episode about a Swedish noblewoman and how she popularized potatoes in the country.
Morsel-sized fact. I'm always interested in
a little fun
absolutely.
one.
Please.
Her name is Eva Ekeblad. Eva was born on July 17th, 1724 in Stockholm, Sweden. She was born into nobility with a long lineage of nobles behind her. Eva lived during the Age of Liberty for Sweden. It was sparked by the death of Charles XII in 1718 and came to a close with the self-coup of Gustav III in 1772.
Oh, a self-coup.
Yeah, a self-coup, which I'm not quite sure I understand what that entails, but...
Rocky road of a history, but keep going, all right?
This age saw a huge shift of power from the monarch to the Riksdag after the disastrous outcome of the Great Northern War that saw Sweden's ousting from the great power status. In 1741, at just 16 years old, Eva married Count Klaus Clausen Ekeblad. She's a countess now.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's... Did you have dreams of being a countess at 16?
Of course.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I probably wanted to be the queen.
I wanted to be a weatherman.
You wanted to be... Well, look at where you are, Lightning.
Look at me now, guys.
1 year after their marriage, they had the first child of their 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, it is a common misconception that young marriages were normal and just part of the time period. It was actually more likely for women to marry in their 20s. They need time to save up and prepare to start their own households if they weren't noblewomen. And if they were noblewomen, like Eva, they didn't generally get married that young. Most people thought it was bad for the young woman's health, which...
Reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't know. They were on to something back then.
Yeah. Oh, child marriages being a bad thing? I don't know what that noise was.
I don't know what that was.
I don't think I've ever made that
She
noise.
was doing a Muppet impression.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
I
went full
very
Beaker.
interesting Beaker impression.
Well, her dad came through with the best wedding present that could possibly be and gifted her and her husband a few castles to get them started. The Maridal Castle and the Lindholm Castle.
Oh.
Or Västergötland.
Fancy.
I know. So fancy. Kind of a mouthful, though. Because her husband was out on business most of the time, Eva oversaw their estates, 3 in total, the 2 castles gifted by her father, and her husband's Stola Manor.
I'm busy.
I know, that's a lot of houses.
That's a lot of
I
houses.
struggle with my apartment.
Yeah, I struggle with my 3 castles, so I understand her struggle.
So you get the pain, yeah. You've been holding out on me.
Well...
I'm sure it comes as no surprise that the Countess hosted salons. Now, salons are gatherings of people to entertain, broaden horizons, and introduce them to fashionable topics. During the 17th and 18th centuries, this meant a strong connection with French philosophers, and this played an important role in the spreading of the Enlightenment. The Spanish ambassador's wife, de Marquis de Puentefuerte,
yes,
see,
there you
getting
go.
better with
She
names,
gets it.
said that Eva is, quote, one of the few aristocratic ladies whose honor was considered untainted. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Yeah, especially in this time period.
Yeah, but I think I know it to be a compliment. I think it was mostly like, she's not a corrupt, horrible woman means.
Sounds like a very underhanded comment, but compliment. But
I think it was a compliment to her and a really big insult to everybody else.
that's what it sounds like.
Eva possessed a great deal of authority as Swedish nobility. According to those around her, she wielded her power well. Eva was known for protecting peasants from the abuse of bailiffs in return for compliance. So, like great, but also...
Yeah.
She was not shy about using her authority to punish wrongdoers and make sure to right the things she considered to be wrongs. She could be temperamental and imposing at times, but usually with good intentions. Eva got along well with the Queen of Sweden, and after her husband's death, the Queen offered her 2 highly sought-after positions in her court. Chief Lady-in-Waiting to the Queen, and Royal Governess to the Crown Prince.
Ah.
Fancy. Ultimately, though, the offers were declined due to health issues that left her essentially bedridden. Now, we're gonna back up a little bit. Rewind. A little Hamilton for everybody there. It's been a while since I referenced Hamilton.
Yeah.
Backing up to the mid-1740s, potatoes were an oddity in Sweden. They were used as animal feed, as it wasn't a widely trusted crop.
Oof.
No one knew what to really do with it, which
Sure.
I totally get it, because what are potatoes?
Yeah.
Eva was able to turn the crop from a curious item in the nobles' greenhouses to a staple dish on the plates of all. It is said that her husband Klaus was interested in potatoes, and this may have led to Eva's experiments. In 1746, at the age of 22, Eva discovered the most useful and effective way for creating alcohol from the plant.
Really? 22?
Yeah. Also, like...
Wonder how long she was working on that.
Well, I mean, probably a couple years, to be honest.
I'm sure it took time to figure out the right formula to figure out what you're about to tell me.
Absolutely. Her method allowed for the production of potato flour. These methods were credited for preventing famines among the Swedish people at the time. It allowed grains that were used in the alcohol production to be used for foodstuffs. So once the potatoes were cooked, smashed, and dried, you could make flour. She also discovered that potato flour could be used to replace arsenic in face and wig powders, revolutionizing cosmetics.
Damn girl.
I know.
Damn girl.
She's so cool.
Ahead of the game. Ahead of the curve.
From the 1600s to the 1700s, arsenic was used in the industry, and when they were able to replace it with potato flour, common health concerns among women in Sweden were eliminated. Probably they were worried about arsenic poisoning.
I'm sure, and now look at her.
And now look at this. Her discoveries continue to pile on as she found a method of creating a soap from the potatoes that was able to bleach cotton textiles and yarn.
Oh, man.
This made for brilliant whites, and it meant a step forward in modernizing methods of textile production.
Revolutionary.
Just so awesome. Can you imagine? I think what fascinates me the most about her is I just picture her in one of her castles in a room just like doing experiments.
Yeah, I can't imagine having done as much as she did in having castles at her age, like doing the extent,
And I think what's so cool
impressive.
is that she seemed to be such a scientific mind when like science was not a thing for the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a really fun part that kind of makes me giggle because it makes me think of right now.
I love fun parts.
Things in general. So as a strategy to advertise the potato plants and their versatility, Eva would make hair pieces out of the flowers that grew on potato plants.
Oh my goodness.
I know, and I'm just picturing this like Swedish noblewoman making flower crowns for the upcoming like music festival in the village.
She had such a creative mind. That's so interesting.
That's so smart. What a clever way to like get people to be like, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
And then like later on we figure out that you can like make a clock out of it and a battery, like whatever. Potatoes are amazing.
Yeah.
They also like taste so good.
She is really amazing too.
She is so amazing. In 1748, at the ripe old age of 24, Eva became the first woman inducted into the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences.
Whoa.
However...
24. Oh no.
3 years later, she was reduced to an honorary member because she was a woman and full membership was reserved for men.
Oh, of course, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot what world we lived in.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oops.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Crazy, because she, like, how much she did, and literally, like, what? That's, like, probably she did this in, like, 4 years.
That makes him look so dumb the first time for even giving her the award and then taking it back.
Why would
that
you
I actually,
it like that?
I wouldn't
it makes
even.
the leaders look so weak.
Probably wouldn't even give it back. I'd probably set it on fire and be like, this is of zero value.
Yeah. This is stupid.
I've never wanted something any less. Maybe I would hand it over and be like, this was taking up space, and I didn't want to waste a fire.
Was taking
I didn't want to
up
waste a whole
space.
fire on this. Like, yeah, get out of here. You guys were the one that inducted me. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Get out of here.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, her family was one of extreme intelligence and driven women. Her sister-in-law, Catherine de la Gardie, was also renowned. She played an influential role in popularizing the smallpox vaccinations in Sweden, and she was also credited with ending the witch trials in the country.
Oh, these women were some go-getters.
Oh, yeah, and you better bet she's another one that I was like, I came across her and I was like,
I'm gonna do an episode
about
Yeah.
her. What?
I don't think there's enough time and space to write about all the great women.
Man, you know
We'll
what?
probably have to create
it's
another
fine.
podcast.
We're just gonna have to do it forever.
We'll have to create
This will never ever
We'll have
be
to
able
create
to end.
like 2 or 3 more of us and then have them start podcasts
Yes.
to be like,
Yes.
this is a podcast about women who are women.
Yeah. And doing
then-
amazing things.
Yeah.
Part 5,000.
Oh no! Podcast about women who are doing bad things.
Oh, bad things.
Well, yeah. And then women who are just doing like. You know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
No, it'll be a podcast of women lists about women.
Oh, just lists.
Just a list.
We're just gonna list. There it is.
It's a podcast of lists about women.
Trademark.
List
TM,
your favorite
copyright.
women. Top 5 lists.
Nobody steal this idea.
Top 5 lists of favorite
Top
women.
5 women.
That's it.
Anyway, I think the heat is getting to us. We had to turn off the AC to record this.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't sweat.
Well, Eva gifted Britta her son Klaus Julius Ekeblad's wife, the Stola Manor. Following Swedish nobility tradition, it was a dower to her daughter-in-law. Eva retired to Maridal Castle and spent the last 6 years of her life there until her passing in May of 1786 from her chronic illness that prevented her from accepting the positions from the queen.
Well, that's very sad.
I know.
Although I personally, I don't know about you, I don't want to speak for you, but I would love to retire in one of my castles.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm never going to be able to retire.
Well, if you get a castle, you could.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
People don't realize that's all you just need. Just get yourself a castle and then you can retire.
Oh.
Smarten up. It's 2020. Stay woke.
Well, she is celebrated in Sweden. And in July of 2017, there was a Google Doodle dedicated to her remembrance. So, you know how, like, Google on certain days has
the
little...
search engine.
Yeah.
Okay. Google Doodle sounded like a snack.
I know.
Like an Entenmann's Google Doodle. Oh, it's really nice. That's so cool.
I
See, and her
know.
legacy is remembered like that, and everyone uses
Exactly.
Google.
But
so.
you know what? It's something where we, like she... So they had been making vodka out of potatoes, but not in a way that you could use other parts of the potato after, and not, she had figured out this awesome way, and, that's how we have, like, gluten-free
I was gonna say, like, Titos?
Tito's.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Tito's.
Shouts out Titos.
You want to sponsor us?
Or if you just want to keep making good vodka,
also,
that's
like-
good too. People can't consume gluten, so that's nice. Thank you, Titos.
Any closing thoughts on this one? Lightning?
They did so much, and I think we still utilize a lot of, we take advantage of a lot of their achievements, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
so-
She did so much. I mean, the way that she was able to revolutionize both textile and makeup industries with being like, hey guys, why don't we stop using arsenic?
Yeah. yeah.
And why don't we maybe use this that bleaches the fabrics and doesn't fully bleach and poison your face. It just kind of makes it covered, you know.
Yeah, this wasn't really a time for scientific breakthrough, too. And she was like, hey, guys, you know it's a good idea.
She just,
and
like,
then
storms
she said
out
X,
of her
Y,
castle.
and Z.
I've got a great idea.
She's like, hey, I'm not even 24, but you know it's a really good idea. And they were all really smart ideas.
Ugh. She was so
For the
cool.
most part, I imagine.
She was so...
She had some duds, but, you know, you can't get them all.
Yeah, I can't have them all.
So that's my thought.
Those are your closing arguments?
Those are my closing arguments.
Remarks, whatever.
Yeah, I know, it's like it's a debate. And that's where I stand, and I'm unwavering.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in again. We really appreciate the support every week. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review to make sure our podcast can keep growing and so that we can share these stories with more and more people every week. Come back this Friday for an interview with body painter Trina Mary. She is amazing, and in this interview, she talks about the stigmas behind the business, her background in graffiti,
cool,
and places she never thought she'd go.
Yeah, body painting sounds like a trip.
Oh, it's so incredible. Some of her work is like camouflage work where you have to really look to be able to see even where the person is in the painting. It's incredible.
Yeah, sounds trippy. I like it.
Some of them are the opposite, and the people in the painting are like the work of art itself. That's really, really cool.
Very interesting. All right. Yeah, I'll listen. I'll
You'll give that one a listen.
Yeah, I'll give that one a shot. I'll subscribe.
Well, make sure you guys go and visit our shiny website at
www.ofherstory.com.
You can follow us on the social medias, Twitter,
at the Her Story Pod,
Instagram,
at Women of Her Story Podcast,
and you can send us an email to
womenofherstorypodcast@gmail.com.
And until Friday, be safe, stay healthy, and show the world what you're made of.
Wear a mask. Bye. This is a New York Glitch production. You are the worst.